Hi, I'm Sophia, and I am a 26-year-old mom of 2 boys. And before I came to Jordan Creek Family Church, I was a lot different than I am now, and it's changed me a lot. Over the last 7 years, up till 2 years ago, over the last 7 years, I've struggled a lot with issues and, I guess, trying to find something to fill the happiness in my life. And in my case, I went to using drugs and alcohol to fulfill that. And in the long run, it didn't get me anywhere. I ended up getting in a lot of trouble and getting lower and lower and less self-respect. 5 years ago, I would say, I was in jail for a while, and I had a pastor actually talk to me about getting closer to God. And it was then that I first kind of had a glimpse of that there could be something else out there, something to look forward to or to hold on to. When the boys were born, I started to think I needed to change, because I needed to change for them, but I still wasn't totally there yet. You know, I did everything for them, and so I kind of half did it. I did it so society didn't know anything was wrong with me. It was almost like being undercover. I still worked a job, I still took care of my kids, but inside I was still pretty much dying because that hole that I was trying to fulfill was still it wasn't filled. I guess when you're younger you think love or kids is going to fill that, and that was probably another reason that I had kids. You know, I didn't know that at the time, but now that I look back, that's probably why. And as the kids started to get older, I noticed that it was hard to have fun with them when I wasn't using drugs. And that was the thing that made me kind of be like, oh, I don't have to, because it's not fun for them if I'm clean because I'm grouchy. But really, in reality, when I did stop using, that's when I actually became the real mom and the real role model I think my kids need. But when my kids were probably about 2 and 3, I started to go to like NA meetings and started making friends there, and I was able to stay sober from all the real hard stuff, so I thought I was doing good. You know, I just used a little bit once in a while. But eventually I started getting clean, and that was really cool. But they always talked about a higher power while we were there, and it was really hard for me because they say if you can't have a higher power, you can't actually make it. And so they said you can have a higher power just even as the chair next to you, or you know, it can be anything. And I started thinking about it, and I knew my higher power was God, but I had never had a personal relationship with Him at all. But I remember when I actually just got up and went, just because I guess I was at my last string again, just I needed to try something else. And I remember just thinking, okay, I need a higher power to make it work. So I went in there, and I just felt like everyone was singing, and I just felt that kind of that peace I felt when I had been in jail when I first experienced God. And it was so overwhelming. I think I started crying because everything just like everything in my life, you know how you just have, it felt like someone was just saying everything's going to be okay, you just need to, you know, let it all out. And then I just started crying, and then I started thinking more and more that this was something that could help me out, you know, and maybe I figured give it a shot. I've tried everything else. And so then I told Pastor Josh that I was still using, and that I just met him, actually. I just walked up to him and I told him that I just needed someone to help me and pray for me, because at this point I was just at the end of my wits, and I needed to, you know, your kids don't pick who their parents are. And I knew I needed to step up and be more of a better mom instead of faking a good mom while using. And so that first experience was really, really great, because I don't know, it just felt like something was like almost like somebody just grabs a hold of you and hugs you and just is like, everything's going to be okay. And that doesn't happen a lot, because usually people think that you've done bad things and stuff like that. They don't want to talk to you, or they don't want to forgive you. And have somebody just do that, then it's like, wow. So I walked out of there thinking I can do this. This changed my life completely. There's still struggling days and everything, but now I don't have that hole in me anymore, where not only was it drugs and all that, but it was also having like someone else, like almost like another person, you know, a male or whatever in my life. But, and people do have that where they always want to be codependent, but now that I have that like whole field, I don't believe that I need anybody else, and I think that God's just going to bring it when He wants to, and you shouldn't just try to go out and do it on your own. You should just wait, because if you go out and do it on your own, you're not going to get the right results anyway. So that's made a huge difference, because then my happiness is a lot better, and the boys are a lot happier, and I just think that I'm going to keep going, and eventually I want to help people, other people that don't know, you know, Jesus. And now I actually talk to my friends about it, and my values have changed, my morals have changed. A lot of things I used to do, I look at, whoa, I wouldn't even like consider doing some of that stuff now. And I look at other people, and I still don't, I try, so I don't judge them, but I think, gosh, I just wish they could be touched too, and just know that there's something better out there.